Welcome to the Bushido gang. What's up, guys? It's AttackonSamurott, and welcome to my match for this RBY tournament that I was in, hosted by GG, or GG fan. So, he has his own Discord, GG fan, and in this Discord he does a lot of RBY tournaments, or at least he's starting to do that. So I entered one of them before, didn't make it to the first round, so I didn't really want to cover it, or I didn't really feel like covering it, but it was still a pretty good series. Now this tournament is a little bit different. This is actually a different kind of a circuit tournament where there's like a limit to what we can do. So the limitation is that we cannot use defensive moves. So stuff like reflect, withdraw, harden. I can't use any of those moves in this tournament. So yeah, he made that limitation, which means that I don't have to worry about stuff like reflect Chansey, reflect Snorlax, and all that jazz. So it's a little bit more freeing, and it means that I can be more offensive, which is something I prefer to use in RBY. So this is my opponent, Talenheim. So wanted to record this game because it was actually pretty fun. I think you guys might enjoy it. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really in the mood to record an RBY Showdown live today. Today's been a pretty weird day for me, so I decided I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna record a live. I'll just do this instead. So yeah. So before we get started, there are actually there was a series of games to be had. So I'll be recording this game and the ones that come after. So before we get started, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also follow me on my Polemon and check out my Smogon profile. All those links will be down in the description on this. So without further ado, let's dive in and let's get into this RBY match. So turn 1, he leads with Starmie, as I lead with my own Starmie. I go for the T-Wave right off bat, as he goes into the Chansey to take the T-Wave, because that's what usually happens in these kind of situations. He's go for the Ice Beam to try and freeze me, but he doesn't get it. I go for the Psychic again, trying to get a drop. I get a Para instead, which still works. I go for the Psychic again. No drop, but another Para, so we're going to keep on going for the Psychic until we get a drop, and we do not get it. So the Chansey is going to recover off. I go for the Psychic again, so I'm kind of wasting my Psychics, but at the same time, I'm okay with this because I wanted to keep him low enough to the point where I can actually bring in maybe my Tauros or something else to revenge this Chansey. With my Starmie getting paralyzed, this is actually better for me because I don't have to worry about Sing from anything. And also, Starmie being paralyzed is okay because it's the lead position. Usually Starmie is meant to trade T-Waves in the beginning of the match, depending on the lead, of course. More advanced players lead or have Jinx leads or Sing leads. So it kind of hurts Starmie, depending on if the lead is a Jinx lead. If it's a Jinx lead, they usually have rest or something to recover from the T-Wave. But since he led Starmie, I was okay to T-Wave here. So getting the T-Wave off on that is perfect. I can go into Lax now as he gets fully parried. So now I can go for a Body Slam as he goes into the Egg, and I'm hoping for a Para. No Para there, so I go for my Starmie as he brings in Lax on the switch in, so that was a good play on his part. I bring in my Egg as he goes for the Body Slam and he gets a Para, so I'm trying to sleep him back, but he does catch my sleep and goes into Chansey, but I get parried anyway, so I go back in the Lax as he goes for the Thunderbolt. No Para right there. I go for a Body Slam again as he brings in the Lapras, and Lapras is going to get messed up. No Para there, of course. Goes for the Blizzard, and I just go for a Thunder, and I want to crack one down, but it's not enough to para it. So Egg comes back. I go back into Starmie as he's going to try and, switch back out. I go back into Egg right here as he goes for the Body Slam there. No Para. I go for a Psyche just to get damage off on it. We get a drop, which is pretty good. And I hope I didn't actually get the, I meant to say if I didn't get paralyzed, if I got paralyzed, or I mean, if he just stayed in and went for the Body Slam, I still would have boomed there anyway. But the fact I got the boom on that Starmie is actually perfect because I keep it low, and that means I can go back and do an Lax of my own, take the T-Wave, and then knock out the Starmie. Technically, in that situation, I probably could have maybe Starmie could have helped as well, but I wanted to get rid of this right off bat because if I did get rid of it, then I wouldn't have to worry about any more T-Wave spam. So Starmie being gone is perfect. In comes Lax to go for the boom. He probably tried to go for the counter there, which makes sense. So I'm able to knock out that. Bring in the Moltres, I go for the Fire Blast, and that is going to do a lot to the Lapras, and unfortunately he misses that. So now he brings in the Chansey as I go for a Hyper Beam on the switch-in, and I am able to not kill the Chansey, and he gets to recover. So that's pretty ass. I go into Starmie here as he's going to try and recover back, but unfortunately he does not. I go for the Psychic again. I get a drop there this time. Thunderbolts me down, gets a crit. So a whole lot of RBY-ness going on. In comes the Lapras as I have to go for a Fire Spin because I didn't trust myself missing Fire Blast. Granted, Fire Blast still would have, granted Fire Blast has a lot better accuracy than Fire Spin. It's actually it's actually 85 in RBY. So I can land it, but I just didn't feel safe. Like, my Fire Blast landing chances are pretty low, but my Fire Spin chances are a lot higher, even though it does have like a lower hit rate too. It's 70 in this gen. So yeah, the fact I landed that is perfect, and I'm able to knock out the Lapras. So Lapras is gone, in comes Tauros, and now we're gonna have a Tauros war off as I let the Starmie go. So now what I do is I bring in my Rhydon here as he brings in the egg, and I go for a Body Slam to get a para, and I do not get the para on the egg, so I just let Rhydon go to sleep as he is going to go for the Sunsport predicting me. But I wake up right away, which is amazing. He actually misses too. I go for a Body Slam again, and guess what, of course, no para. But at least the egg is low to the point where I could actually just Body Slam with my own Tauros, or I could even go into the Moltres if need be. So Psyche's going to crack down my Rhydon, and I pretty much just say, screw it, you can take them on, I don't need it anymore. He actually just decides to go into Tauros instead and just Body Slams me. So there goes my Rhydon. So Rhydon is gone and did nothing. That's okay. I bring in the Moltres now, and I go for the Fire Blast on the switch-in to the Chansey I can Hyper Beam. But I decided to go for the Fire Blast instead because, okay, the reason why I made that play to go for Fire Blast instead of going for Hyper Beam is because, well, if I did Hyper Beam and Tauros came in, it would have been a bad time for me. But I think regardless, Hyper Beam, regardless at the position he was at, since he was at like 38%, Hyper Beam still would have killed it anyway. But that Fire Blast crit definitely helped quite a bit. So now what I do here is I go for the Agility in case he wanted to try and paralyze me, but he actually misses his Hyper Beam, so that is pretty big for me. I go for the Fire Blast and miss, of course. He goes for the Body Slam, and he does get the para as predicted, so I go for the Fire Blast again, but I get fully parried again. Goes for the Hyper Beam, and there goes my Moltres. So now I have my own Tauros left, and now it's the Tauros war. So I go for the Body Slam as he goes for his own Body Slam. He does 30, I do 30. He wins the speed tie again. I go for my own, and I do 43. And I actually win the speed tie, and I knock out the Tauros, and then I can Body Slam and knock out the egg, and that is GG for game 1. So a pretty crazy first game. Of course, like I've mentioned already several times about the crit, about the paras and the hacks in Gen 1. Like, to be honest, it's something I don't really mind. Like, it's just part of the meta. But definitely it did suck when my Starmie got paralyzed. When my Starmie got critted by that Chansey. It definitely could have done a lot more work here, but honestly, it did enough. Honestly, it actually did enough. So I was pretty happy about how it performed. And also, Moltres would have won here too. So, again, I had my own backups, but again, the Tauros war, it always comes down to that in RBY. It always happens. If you win the speed tie, then you win. That's that. That's literally that. If you win the speed tie, you have a higher chance of winning against your opponent. So yeah, that is gonna cover game 1. So let me dive into game 2, which is right here. So we have game 2. Hold up, let me just do something real quick. Let me switch that, and then let me reset it. Okay, there we go. So this is game 2. So game 2, against Talenheim. I actually brought a different team this time. I brought a more offensive team. I think it was actually a boom offense team. While Talenheim brought something, I don't know what he brought. I don't remember what he brought. I think it was, no wait, he brought, for this game, he brought normal spam. So when I say normal spam, I mean like there's more than one normal type on. There's more than 3 normal types on this team, which is actually, you know, like the common thing in RBY is to have like a lot of normal types. Specifically the big 3 being Snorlax, Chansey, and Tauros. So yeah, again, I brought a pretty offensive team. Again, more offensive than the last team. I think it was. I don't remember. I think it was more offensive than the last team, but you're going to find out anyway. So anyways, let's dive in and let's get into game 2. So game 2, he leads with Starmie as I lead with Zam. So I lead with the Zam, I go for the T-Wave, and I land it right off bat. He goes for his own T-Wave, so we have the T-Wave going on. I can go for a toss here as he brings in the Chansey, so he catches the toss on that switch, which was pretty good for him. He goes for the soft boiled, and I go for a Psychic as I don't get a drop. He goes for a Thunderbolt, and now I can T-Wave him here, so I T-Wave the Chansey. So honestly, I actually want to say that I have a sleeper in the back. So T-Waving this is good, but at the same time, putting it to sleep would have been so much better, because then I really wouldn't have to deal with it throughout the game. But it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Granted, granted, putting it to sleep would be a lot better, but it's still okay. So we get the Psychic off. He goes for a Thunderbolt again, doing not that much. I go for the recovery here as he is going to recover back himself. So we're going to play the Psychic game again where I try and get a drop, and I do get the drop right there. And he does get a Thunderbolt on me, but doing less because of the special drop. I go for the Psychic, but I get paralyzed there, and I get paralyzed again, and he gets paralyzed. We're going to get parried like every turn or something. Go for the Psychic, I get a drop, and there's the full para. So full para into that. He goes for the Chansey as I get paralyzed again. So again, it's just paras on paras. Going to Lax as he gets paralyzed. So paras on paras, and the body slam comes down on the Chansey. He goes for the Sting, and he lands it on my Lax, which is really, really bad, and it makes my Lax not really useful throughout this game. I go into Gengar as he goes for the body slam and hits nothing because I'm a Gengar. I go for the sleep and I land it on the Lax, but he does not wake up. I go for a Thunderbolt, and we're just gonna chip down this Lax until it's dead. Goes into Starmie as I Thunderbolt it down, and that does so much damage because Gengar has really good special in Gen 1. In Gen 1, Gengar's special is actually 110, I think. So that's like that's 358. Wait, no, it's 130, so it's 358. So yeah, Gengar is incredibly strong, or has incredibly good specials. So its Thunderbolts can definitely hurt, and same with its Mega Drains and its well, it can mostly Thunderbolt and Mega Drain. That's all they can really do in RBY. So it doesn't get like the elemental punches until like Gen 2. So it only has like Thunderbolt and Mega Drain for coverage. But oh, and Explosion as well. So we Thunderbolt the Starmie and we kill it, which is great. I can still keep the Gengar around and potentially boom on it if need be. He goes into the Chansey as I bring in my Golem here. Goes into the Lapras there as I go for an Earthquake, and I get a crit on that Lapras, which is huge. I go into Starmie here as he goes for the Blizzard, and he does not get the freeze, so I go into Chansey as he goes into Chansey as I get the Thunderbolt off on the switch-in. In comes the Golem again as he goes into Tauros right here on my switch-in. Goes for the Blizzard on my Golem, and I go for a boom, and I do a lot of damage to that Tauros. So Tauros is very weakened. I go into Starmie here, and Starmie is going to be very key now, since it actually has potential to be a cleaner in the late game. Since the Lax is already paralyzed, or has already slept, Lapras is weakened, the Tauros is weakened as well, which means that Starmie can Thunderbolt through all these three. So I want to make sure I keep my Starmie healthy and not let it get paralyzed / slept, but mostly paralyzed. So I go into Zam here as he goes for the T-Wave. So cool. I get to keep my Zam. Go into Gengar here as he goes for a Thunderbolt. And now what I can do is get paralyzed, and I can boom here and knock out the Chansey. So Chansey's gone. So this is looking pretty good for me. Starmie's looking very dangerous. Thunderbolt will knock out that Lapras with a crit. So there goes the Lapras right there. And in comes the Persian. He goes for the Hyper Beam. It does not kill me, and we get to T-Wave the Persian, and now we can just Thunderbolt it down, and that is going to be that, as he cannot do much here. I go into Zam as he goes for the Slash. Slashes me down. I can steal the Psychic since I'm faster than him, and Persian is going to get fully parried there, and there goes the Persian, and now he can pretty much finish me off with the Tauros, and now I just finish him off with the Starmie at this point, and that is going to be the game as I can Thunderbolt down, and he is not going to wake up, unfortunately. So I go into Tauros here, and now I can body slam him down, keeping him low as I get a crit as well, and that is going to be that for this game, and that pretty much moves me on to well, one, he gets a crit there, so you know, you gotta have that last ditch crit, but Thunderbolt will knock him out, and that's gonna be the game. But yeah, it was good. It was a good game. I actually did enjoy this series. It seemed like he pretty much brought like similar teams, or I mean, similar team to what he brought the first game, except he pretty much like put Eggy over Persian. But yeah, as you can see, he brought a more offensive team with these four being here. Again, the dual status Chansey with possibly like a boom, with a boom Lax, or maybe like a or maybe like maybe Amnesia Lax. Honestly, I think Amnesia Lax would have made sense on a team like this. But then again, he probably could have just been 4 attack with the counter. The Tauros definitely could have been deadly. I mean, it was deadly. It killed my own Tauros because of the speed tie crit. But yeah, that Persian also could have been deadly too. If you got the T-Waves off like early, then this could have been a problem. But luckily we were able to pull it out with Gengar plus Zam, and also Golem's Boom slash Quake crit. So yeah, all those things really helped me out here, and also the sleep on the Lax as well definitely helped too. But yeah, I did enjoy this match. I do have my round 2 match coming up sometime this week, so probably after that match I'll record it regardless if I win or lose, because again, like I said, I really do enjoy these little RBY games. They're pretty fun. They're pretty fun. So yeah, again, I do apologize for no Showdown Live today for RBY. Again, like I said, I really was just not feeling it today. Again, a lot has happened today, and I just don't want to like put myself through the ladder and just keep like playing. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing the Regidrago Showdown Live either today, but I already have the moveset guide recorded, so you guys should see that sooner or later today, or tonight actually, since it's almost like 6 at night for me. Yeah, you guys should probably see that later on. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also follow me on my Pokemino and check out my Smokeground profile. All those links will be down in the descriptiones. Gonna try and do DPP tomorrow. Hopefully things don't go crazy tomorrow for me. Well, not crazy, just like, I don't think the word's crazy, it's just unexpected. But also I was also pretty tired this morning too because of my grandma. So yeah, it's pretty tough to deal with a grandma that's like really sick. So yeah, again, be safe, y'all. Wash your hands, and I'll see you for the next Showdown Live. Peace out.